Shabbat Shalom. How is Joseph like Messiah ben Joseph? In the 6th aliyah of Vayigash, Joseph and his father Jacob are reunited. At this time, Jacob thought that Joseph was dead. Genesis 46, verse 29, says that as soon as Joseph appeared before his father Israel, he fell upon his neck and cried for a long time. Did you ever cry because you were so surprised and so happy about something? Joseph's entire life foreshadows Messiah ben Joseph. Who is this Messiah? First, his mother and father and brothers will bow down to him. Do you remember Joseph's dreams? Genesis 37, verses 5 through 11, he dreamed his brothers' sheaves bowed down to his, and that the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. His family rightly interpreted that this meant that they would bow to him. His brothers didn't like that. But let's remember what happened in Genesis 42:7. Without even recognizing Joseph, his brothers had come to Egypt to buy food during the famine, and they bowed to the man in charge. Genesis 42:7 says, "Then Joseph's brothers came and bowed to him with faces to the ground. When Joseph saw his brothers, he recognized them, but he made himself unrecognizable to them." Joseph's dreams are fulfilled. How is this like Messiah ben Joseph? Through Joseph's life, God is showing us something about himself. Who is the Messiah? The Messiah is Adonai himself. Isaiah 45:22 through 23 says, "Turn to me and be saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God, there is no other. By myself I have sworn, the word has gone forth from my mouth in righteousness and is irrevocable, that to me every knee will bow, every tongue will swear." And in verse 25, in Adonai all the seed of Israel will be justified and will give praise. Second, he is sold for silver by one of the 12. Genesis 37:27, Judah, one of the 12 brothers, says, "Let's sell him to the Ishmaelites." And verse 28, they dragged Joseph up and out of the pit, and they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And in Matthew 26:15, Judah, one of the 12 disciples, says to the ruling Kohanim, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" And they weighed out 30 shekels of silver for him. Third, he dies or is thought to be dead. Genesis 37, verses 31 through 35. So they took Joseph's tunic, slaughtered a billy goat, and they dipped the tunic in blood. Then they sent the long-sleeved tunic, and it was brought to their father, and they said, "We found this. Do you recognize whether or not it is your son's tunic?" He did recognize it and said, "My son's tunic! An evil animal has devoured him. Joseph must be torn to pieces." Jacob tore his clothing and put on sackcloth and mourned for his son many days. Matthew 27:50. And Yeshua cried out with a loud voice and gave up his spirit. Mark 15:38 through 39. Then the curtain of the temple was split in two from top to bottom. When the centurion who was standing in front of him saw the way Yeshua breathed his last, he said, "This man really was the Son of God." Fourth, he saves the world. Genesis 50, verse 20, Joseph says to his brothers, "Yes, you yourselves planned evil against me, but God planned it for good, in order to bring about what it is this day, to preserve the lives of many people." Of Messiah ben Joseph, Isaiah 53, verses 11 and 12 say, "The righteous one, my servant, will make many righteous, and he will bear their iniquities. He poured out his soul to death. He bore the sin of many and interceded for the transgressors. He died to atone for sins and bring redemption. He saves the world." Finally, he is reunited with those who mourn for him. As Jacob weeps on Joseph's neck when they are reunited, Zechariah 12:10 describes Israel's meeting with Messiah ben Joseph. "Then I will pour out on the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and supplication, when they will look toward me, whom they pierced." Hallelujah. He who was thought to be dead is alive and has saved the world. Shabbat Shalom.